Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm an Atlanta area personal bankruptcy attorney. I want to talk to you about your income tax refunds in Chapter 13. Now, if you're planning on filing Chapter 13 or if you're in a Chapter 13, there's a pretty good chance that your Chapter 13 plan requires you to send or pay over your income tax refunds to the Chapter 13 trustee. You also are going to probably have to make copies of your tax return and send that to the trustee as well, so the trustee can check. So what I would tell you is if you're in bankruptcy or you're about to go into a Chapter 13, before you file, adjust your withholding so you don't have any refund. Basically, it may be more disposable income, but let's deal with that before we file than after. And if it turns out that you've already filed and you have a big refund coming, you still want to go ahead and adjust your withholdings, and then you may have to go back in bankruptcy and adjust the budget to deal with that extra money. But bottom line is you don't want to have at the end of the year $3,000, $4,000 of tax refund, because you're not going to be able to keep it anyway. And if you forget about it and you spend it, then it creates a whole nother problem. We've got to go and try to convince a judge to let you keep that money, not to pay it back, and to explain what you did with it. But big picture is just assume that your tax refund is going to be part of the property of the trustee, and let's figure out a way to deal with that before you actually file. Because again, income tax refunds and Chapter 13 do not go very well together, and ideally you should have zero liability, you should have zero refund at the end of the year, and then all that money is accounted for in your bankruptcy. And a little tip is that it's easier to deal with it as part of your budget than to try to explain what happened to the money later and to beg the court to let you keep it and to bless what you've done with it, because there's a good chance the court's going to say, we don't think that you spent that money appropriately, you need to pay it back to the trustee. And if you only have 2 or 3 months left in your plan to do that, that can become a real problem. So if you have any questions about Chapter 13, please feel free to let me know. I'm happy to try to answer those for you. I've been doing this for 25 plus years, and while Chapter 13 can be a real pain, and then you know what, it can be very effective if you need to stop a foreclosure, repossession, wage garnishment, that type of thing. But it's very detail focused and a lot of little picayune rules. And again, I'm more than happy to explain how a Chapter 13 would look for you with your particular situation. So I hope you found this helpful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions about Chapter 13 or anything bankruptcy related, please let me know. Thanks a lot.